So I want to share a fundamental concept that I will be referring to a lot in my future videos. I call it wolves versus sheep, because I truly believe it's uplifting and motivating and really enlightening if you are a success-oriented, ambitious person, okay? Especially in modern society. Okay, so the concept is wolves versus sheep. And now what I'm saying is, in general, in a broad sense, there's exceptions, blah, 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 of course. But in general, I'm dividing society into two groups of people, okay? Wolves and sheep, all right? Sheep are like 90%, wolves are like 10%, okay? These sheep are people that are content where they're at. They're content with mediocrity. They're content with just drifting by, waking up, going to their job that they don't hate, they don't love, they sort of just tolerate it. They're happy with just enough money. Or not happy, they're content. They're content, or they put up with, they accept, the basic status quo. Now, the opposite group and polar opposite on a mindset wavelength are the wolves, okay? The wolves are people that are not content where they're at. They are ambitious. They are actively pursuing information and action and, behaviors and new habits in the direction of their goals. They're actively trying to create their dream life. They're actively trying to create a lifestyle that is one that they want to be living, something they want. Basically, it comes down to wolves want more out of their life, out of the world, out of their experience. They want more, okay? And the sheep, this is getting deeper. I was about to say the sheep don't want more. Deeper than that, I believe we all want more. We all have ambitions and dreams, but the sheep are not pursuing it. They have chosen a path of being passive. They have chosen to ignore their dreams, and instead of being whatever they want to be, starting a business or doing whatever they want to do, they play the game small. They play the game safe. They keep their safe, secure job at Walmart for the overtime and the benefits and the 401k, rather than go out, try to be an entrepreneur, do something they love, or whatever it would be. And now one of the main sub-concepts of wolves versus sheep is the mindset, the thinking behind the sheep and the wolf, all right? Because if we could identify patterns in the way sheep think and patterns in the way wolves think, I believe that can help you be more successful and be more motivated and directed and focused towards your achievements, towards your goals, right? We analyze the way wolves think, but really we want to analyze the way sheep think more. Why? Because they are the 90%. They are the bulk of population. So I consider it a type of groupthink, a social groupthink. Now I'm calling it sheepthink. Okay? So the way that the bulk of society thinks, it's how sheep think. Now, the wolves think a different way. You have to think outside of the box and almost be rebellious and resist or sometimes actively, argue and fight the sheep thing. Okay, so for instance, now, neither way is right or wrong, because you got to understand the underlying core dynamic, the core value and fundamental belief deep in the core. The sheep want to stay the same. They're not, or currently, they're not at the point where they want to pursue being a wolf, being ambitious. They're happy in their little sheep mediocrity world. So the beliefs that they develop, the beliefs that they adhere to, the sheep think, it's perfectly okay for them, and it benefits them because they're not wolves, and they're not wolves yet. Now, a quick little side note. The reason I throw these terms around, and if someone's offended by it, oh, he's saying the elite, like 1% versus the 99%. No, I believe, as someone who's coached people and seen people change their lives many, many times, at any given point, you're choosing which group you're in, okay? So sheep could wake up any day and decide to become ambitious, work towards goals, and be a wolf. And at the same time, a wolf at any time could give up, throw in the towel, go, revert back to sheep thing, okay? So these are flexible mindsets and behaviors and groups, okay? So you choose which group you're in. So that's why I could say brutally harsh things about sheepthink, or we could be crystal clear about wolves and how they act, because it's a self-chosen group, okay? It's not something you're born as or whatever. So the sheepthink is so dangerous because it develops something I call pull to mediocrity, all right? There's this magnetism towards mediocrity. So what does this mean? So one of the core things in sheepthink is get a safe, secure job, pursue benefits and overtime, all that stuff. They are heavily prioritizing safety and security over freedom and, you know, the choice to do what they want over what they truly want. Now the wolves are the opposite. They are pursuing freedom, they are pursuing abundance, they're pursuing more. And to do that, I don't care what anyone says, to do that, you have to sacrifice and not prioritize security and safety. Okay, you can't be in your comfort zone and be a wolf pursuing, you know, your aspirations. The sheep get the luxury of being in their comfort zone, okay? It's very comforting, it's very nice. That's why they're happy to stay there. Okay, that's why they're not happy, that's why they're content to stay there. So when a sheep family tells the sheep kid, you know, stay in school, get good grades, you know, get a safe, secure job, that is actually great advice if you're a sheep and you want to follow a sheep path. If you are a wolf, that advice will kill you emotionally, that advice will kill you spiritually, and you will want to resist and want to rebel. Okay, so hopefully if you're watching this and you're like, hey, I have a shitty job I fucking hate, I want to be ambitious, I want to do something else, you'll be feeling something inside right now. That is the wolf thing, that is the inner wolf inside the sheep exterior, the sheep think that has permeated into, you know, the behaviors. So we've just established wolves versus sheep as a topic. Now a subtopic, as I said, is sheepthink. And under sheepthink, there's multiple subtopics. And really, as you study people, because I've been digging into this concept for the last few years, you start to notice a lot of trends, a lot of patterns, a lot of consistent behavioral patterns in sheepthink. Okay, so for instance, let's identify some core ones. Wolves choose abundance over scarcity mentality. Sheep are usually operating from scarcity mindset. There's not enough to go around. There's only a little bit. We got to compete to get this little breadcrumb over abundance, right? Oh, you know, there's not enough hot girls. It's hard to meet hot girls. Wolves are like, there's hot girls everywhere. Just go talk to them. Another topic is active versus passive. Wolves are actively pursuing their goals. They're active. They feel that they're actively creating their life. Sheep are not. They believe in they're passive. They're just accepting whatever's there. They're just floating. You know, they're 90% passive, 10% active, and wolves are probably the opposite, 90% active and 10% passive. You know, so now wolves feel in control. They feel that they're a creator, and they are. Wolves feel that they are not a creator, that they're on the ride. They're going with the flow, whatever life throws at them, whatever the universe throws at them, and they now it's very conducive to victim mentality, all right? Victim think that, oh, you know, the reason I'm poor is because the government is X, Y, and Z, or that, you know, the school system was messed up, or my parents didn't teach me this, or, you know, they're looking to outsource control and responsibility, all right? When you're a wolf and you internalize control, you internalize and you take 100% responsibility for creating your life and for where you're at, all right, your results. Sheep, in sheepthink, in sheep circles, it's very easy to blame everyone else, to play the victim card, okay? So that's why certain groups that are promoted in the media today, you know, feminism, what is it really about? It's about blaming all your problems on men. Also, there's the protest culture, which I think is a fucking joke, all right? Losers who have nothing better to do but sit around and hold up goofy signs chanting things that nobody cares about. It does not change anything. If you put in a 12-hour day protesting, you wasted 12 hours, all right? So protest culture is this new thing. I believe it's sort of built up by propaganda, by media, and all this stuff. They want people to be angry, to feel like victims, to feel like they don't have control, to go protest the man, the government, the thing holding them down. I mean, you could do whatever you want. You have the freedom to do whatever you want. I just think it's a total waste of time. Why? Because you have the freedom to do whatever you want, all right? Groupthink, victimthink, sheepthink, it's about being part of the herd, all right? And the herd goes with the flow. They are not empowered. They're not an individual, okay? So the more that you adhere to groupthink, to including yourself as a part of a group, the less that you are perceiving yourself as an individual, and an individual has the power to do whatever the fuck they want, all right? So this is why protest culture, victim mentality, playing the victim card, saying that you didn't get where you are because of you're an XYZ group, all right? That is choosing to think like a loser rather than choosing to think like a winner, all right? You could at any time, I don't care what group you're in, you could be an individual and outperform the average person in that group, okay? So that is a very solid wolf thinking type of mindset. Just thought of another little term I came up with. So the sheep, they conform to the herd. The sheep are herd animals, where the wolves, they're not lone wolves. they're pack animals. Now, what's the difference between a herd and a pack? All right, a herd is the mass. It's the 90%. The herd accepts anyone, all right? To get into the herd is a birthright, all right? You're born, boom, you're a sheep, you're part of the herd. The wolf pack is an exclusive group. It's a group that you have to perform at a certain level to be a part of. And this is actually a really cool metaphor, because if you look in nature and you study wolves, it is true. In the wolf pack, each wolf has a specific job that they do, all right? There's a hierarchy to the wolf pack, and everyone performs their job. If they stop performing their job, they're not a part of the pack. They're left to die, and they go on their own. All right, so we can make some sort of metaphor, like the wolf pack is like a mastermind of, ambitious people working towards a goal. I mean, that's kind of cool. But in general, the wolf pack is a more selective, exclusive group. Why? Because winners want to be around winners, all right? And maybe you're not a winner yet. Maybe you're working towards it, all right? That's fine. Just being ambitious, having the aspirations, having the goals, you could be a part of the pack. I truly believe, all right? The most successful people I've met, if you have the mindset, if you are talking, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that, how do I learn how to do this, how do I get this going? You're on their wavelength, and they're down to talk about that, all right? If you go to, successful person and you start hitting them up with sheep stuff, oh, I couldn't do this because of X, Y, and Z, you don't know what it's like, because I'm X, Y, and Z, or this happened to me and I'm not skilled at that, I don't know how to do that. You're on a different wavelength. You're on the sheep think, victim, losery, I'm out of control of my life wavelength. And winners, wolves, they don't want to hear that. Why? Because it's a different wavelength. It's a total different wavelength, and it's like a frequency of a radio, all right? When you've got your radio dial tuned to, a certain radio station, you don't hear the other radio stations, right? When your frequency is tuned to sheepthink, being a victim, I'm out of control, I can't do anything, life sucks. You're not tuned into the wolf think, all right? You're not tuned into the success vibration, all right, whatever we want to call it. This gets really deep. I can't get into it all in this video. I want to keep this video short. I'm going to delve into all these concepts later. But, I mean, wolves versus sheep, it is so interesting because it's you as an individual, mindsets, behaviors, patterns, all right? It's social. It's the social society, groupthink, victimthink, sheepthink, and the trends and how these play out. And I believe everyone there is some magnetic pull. There's a magnetism to mediocrity, to the sheepthink. Why? Because everybody wants to conform to the herd. Nobody wants to stand out, all right? We are, as humans, group animals, all right? So we want to be part of the group. We want to fit in, all right? But the point is, you got to get in the right group. You want to be in the wolves, not in the sheep, all right? So I hope this motivated you. If you like this concept, I'm going to be dropping a lot more. If you like, my content in general, I talk about dating, I talk about success, I talk about a little bit about travel, and even stuff like NoFap. All right, you can subscribe, hit the notifications bell. Any feedback or questions, throw them in the comment section, and I'll reply to every single one. All right, thanks a lot. See you soon.